Hey you! Yes, you! Welcome to this course I created. It's based upon the 13 goals for a witch that you can see on the screen. Each time we meet, we will work on one of these 13 goals. In the previous 3 videos, we covered Know Yourself, Know Your Craft, and Learn and Grow. Today we delve into number 4, Apply Knowledge with Wisdom. We will discuss the ethics of using your newfound knowledge of witchcraft. First, some quotes. Learning is a matter of gathering knowledge. Wisdom is applying that knowledge. Knowledge comes from learning, and wisdom comes from living. Knowledge is being aware of what you can do, and wisdom is knowing when not to do it. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Knowledge is knowing what to say. Wisdom is knowing when to say it. Some humor, and I'm sure you've heard this before. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. We all know it belongs in a Bloody Mary. Sorry, I joke. But on a more serious note, think of it this way. Data is raw facts. Information is processed data with contextual meaning. It tells us who, what, where, when. Knowledge is collective information gained through individual expertise. It describes how. Wisdom is knowledge that has an evaluative component. It describes why. This should summarize nicely. Knowledge comes from learning. Wisdom comes from living. Knowledge talks. Wisdom listens. To acquire knowledge, one must study. To acquire wisdom, one must observe. Knowledge is knowing what to say. Wisdom is knowing when to say it. Knowledge is learning something every day. Wisdom is letting go of something every day. Knowledge is proud that it has learned so much. Wisdom is humble that it knows no more. In short, wisdom is knowledge rightly applied. And on that note, let's talk ethics of witchcraft. Witchcraft ethics are largely expressed in the Wiccan Rede, and it harm none, do what you will. Old-fashioned language for, as long as you aren't harming anyone, do as you wish. While this could be interpreted to mean do not harm at all, it is usually interpreted as a declaration of the freedom to act, along with the necessity of thinking through and taking responsibility for the consequences of one's actions. I understand that not all witches are Wiccan, and not all Wiccans are witches, but Wicca is a recognized religion and most well known among the Muggles or non-magical public. This Wiccan Rede was originally penned by Doreen Valiente in 1964. However, the concept was probably adapted from the writings of Aleister Crowley in 1904. Rumor has it that Crowley adapted it from earlier writings that dated back to the Middle Ages. Regardless of where it originated, it became a very liberating battle cry of early witches. Another element is expressed in the law of threefold return, which is understood to mean that whatever one does to another person or thing, benevolent or otherwise, returns with triple force. Opinions differ on whether the form taken by the return of harmful actions might include bad reputation, revenge by others, negative emotional states, an uneasy conscience, poor luck, malign magical influences, something resembling the Hindu concept of karma, or some combination of some or all of these, and also as to what extent the number 3 should be interpreted poetically rather than literally. Many Wiccans also seek to cultivate a set of 8 virtues mentioned in Doreen Valiente's Charge of the Goddess. Mirth, which is laughter or merriment. Reverence, a feeling of deep respect. Honor, worthiness and respectability that manifests in a code of conduct. Humility, strength or courage. Beauty, power, and compassion. By now it should be clear, Ethics refers to a philosophical study of morality or morals. Morals refers to a more narrowed and specific code of behavior. The definition of ethics is considered the moral principles that govern a person's behavior or conducting of an activity. Neo-paganism and Wicca began growing as a movement in the 1960s and 70s. In 1973, a group of 73 neo-pagans from various traditions came together to write up a set of principles to clarify and unite their groups in an effort to dispel misunderstandings, misinformation, lack of understanding from the public, and encourage government recognition. The idea and the coalition was assembled by Carl Wesk, the president of Llewellyn International, the leading publisher of occult and New Age books. In April of 1974, they adopted their set of 13 principles, which are as follows. Number 1. We practice the rites to attune ourselves with the natural rhythm of life forces, marked by the phases of the moon and the seasonal quarters and cross quarters. Quarter days are the days that begin each quarter of the year. In other words, March 25th, June 24th, September 29th, and December 25th. The cross-quarter days are 4 holidays falling in between the quarter days: February 2nd, May 1st, August 1st, and November 1st. 2. We recognize that our intelligence gives us a unique responsibility toward our environment. We seek to live in harmony with nature, in ecological balance, offering fulfillment to life and consciousness within an evolutionary concept. We acknowledge a depth of power far greater than that apparent to the average person. Because it is far greater than ordinary, it is sometimes called supernatural, but we see it as lying within that which is naturally potential to all. 4. We conceive of the creative power in the universe as manifesting through polarity, as masculine and feminine, and that this same creative power lies in all people and functions through the interaction of the masculine and feminine. Valuing neither above the other, knowing each to be supportive of the other. We value sex as pleasure, as the symbol and embodiment of life, and as one of the sources of energies used in magical practice and religious worship. 5. We recognize both outer worlds and inner, or psychological worlds, sometimes known as the spiritual world, the collective unconscious, inner planes, etc., and see in the interaction of these two dimensions the basis for paranormal phenomena and magical exercises. We neglect neither dimension for the other, seeing both as necessary for our fulfillment. 6. We do not recognize any authoritarian hierarchy, but do honor those who teach, respect those who share their greater knowledge and wisdom, and acknowledge those who have courageously given of themselves in leadership. 7. We see religion, magic, and wisdom in living as being united in the way one views the world and lives within it. A worldview and philosophy of life which we identify as witchcraft, the Wiccan way. 8. Calling oneself witch does not make a witch, but neither does heredity itself, nor the collecting of titles, degrees, and initiations. A witch seeks to control the forces within themselves that make life possible, in order to live wisely and well without harm to others and in harmony with nature. 9. We believe in the affirmation and fulfillment of life in a continuation of evolution and development of consciousness, giving meaning to the universe we know and our personal role within it. 10. Our only animosity towards Christianity or towards any other religion or philosophy of life is to the extent that its institutions have claimed to be the only way, and have sought to deny freedom to others and to suppress other ways of religious practice and belief. 11. As American witches, we are not threatened by debates on the history of the craft, the origins of various terms, the legitimacy of various aspects of different traditions. We are concerned with our present and our future. 12. We do not accept the concept of absolute evil, nor do we worship an entity known as Satan or the devil as defined by the Christian tradition. We do not seek power through the suffering of others, nor accept that personal benefit can be denied only by the denial of others. We believe that we should seek within nature that which is contributory to our health and well-being. There you have it, the 13 principles adopted by the Council of Witches in April 1974. I hope this session has given you much food for thought on how you shall apply your knowledge with wisdom. Thank you all, and be well. And here's my contact info if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, or compliments.